Hi students. Yesterday we started the unit 5, which is something totally different from the topic that we took in Unit 4. Now in Unit 4 we talked about TVs, about the movies, about the genres and so on. And yesterday we started about something that is different here. So we're going to see in Unit 5, which is, do you really need it? And from this picture that you have here, it is about advertisement. So we have here advertisements is the basic topic of our unit. And yesterday we talked about 5 products. They were put in the book as advertisements, and I asked you just to answer the main questions that you have in the book. Now, before we start with the questions, I just want to go back to the vocabulary that you have on page number 69. Now the vocab, we had this match part. We matched, we did the exercise, but as a quick revision for you, because yesterday I didn't give you pictures, we depended on the examples and also on the content of the paragraphs. So we have here the first one. Read the word. You have the word admire. Now you can just remember from the picture, or we have an example for you. I admire you for your high morals. Now we matched admire with the word D, respect. The second one, brand. Your example is, there are well-known brands in worldwide marketing. So just revise, what did we put brand with? Just one word can help you, which is the word name. So we have here the name that identifies a product or a manufacturer, which is actually G. Then we have the word exclusive. Exclusive, here the meaning that we have in the book, to belonging only to one and basically a company. But note that exclusive can have another meaning, so it depends on how it is used. So that's why we have here VIP, we have here exclusive, that is something special or something just for one part or one side. After that we took the word formula, which I told you that it has another meaning, or it's close, but one is used in another kind of field. So we had formula for movies, the genres, we have what is the formula of the film. And here we have formula, as you can see from the picture, and we matched it actually with combination. So the word combination here is the same, either in Unit 4 or Unit 5, but the other meaning is different here. So we have here the combination of ingredients or the combination of the movie parts or the types that we have. So it is different from one meaning to another. Intended, also we have here your target, what you want, what you intend. So we have here intended, we said that it is meant or planned. Revolutionary here, you would be surprised to know that all of these words are synonyms, but actually they are not. They are even more. So we have here, these are synonyms that can be used with another meaning for revolutionary. So some of you might get confused and say that, okay, I have heard that revolutionary is used, for example, other topics, something different from what we are discussing. But yes, it can come. So we have here, these are synonyms, not all of the synonyms. And just to make sure that you are on track with me, the ones that I colored in the green part, they are the ones closer to the meaning that we have. So we talked about the sneakers. We said that they are revolutionary. The most, we can say that the closest meaning here is going to be, for example, new, creative, innovative, futuristic, pioneering, untried, unknown. So these are the closest, but that doesn't mean that revolutionary doesn't have other meanings. So of course, these are not for you to revise, but just as a general information to know that, yes, in English we have words that have many synonyms and they can be used in many meanings. So we have here revolutionary. In the book, we said causing big change. So if something is new, something is untried, unknown, it is of course going to cause a big change. The last one you have here, 7, which is sophisticated. So just try to remember one of these pictures, especially this one. So we said that sophisticated is connected to a word high. High what we have here? Yes, having high class tastes. So after revising here the vocab that we have, comprehension, answer the questions about the advertisement. Also on page number 69, you have all of these questions. We have here 5 questions, which are actually very easy and very simple. It depends on your point of view and how you see it, but some other, no, you have to go back to the book. So let's see the first one. Which advertisement appeals to the reader's desire to be special? So if you recall the advertisement that we had an advertisement about a car, about water, about shampoo. We have also something else about what we have here, about detergent. And we had the last one about sneakers. Just try to recall which of these advertisements made or can make a person feel special. Other people will just look at him. While you're using a detergent, for example, while you're drinking water, or if you have this car. So we have the answer is going to be the BMX 3000 sports car. The second question, which advertisement appeals to the reader's desire to do what other people are doing? So which one had a kind of comparison? He sees or she sees someone else doing something or wearing something, and she goes and does the same. So if you can recall the sneakers part, we have here the NBA player, the name that was mentioned. So we have here, yes, it is the Planet Mercury sneakers. The third question we have, which advertisements use statistics to sell their product? So these are statistics. Which one uses them? Now actually in the book yesterday we talked about 2. So just to make it very clear, we have here the part you refresh your body with 100% all natural spring water. And the other part, we have here the laundry detergent we have here has 33% more cleaning power. So our answers are going to be the laundry detergent and also the spring water. Then we have number 4. Which advertisements use famous people to sell their products? It just passed by, which is, yes, we have here again, the Planet Mercury sneakers. And the last question, which advertisements do you think are most effective and why? Now here, this is a tricky question. Either you can answer it to look at the 5 advertisements and which one was interesting, but you may have other point of view. So we can say mainly or in general that we have here the car is the most interesting advertisement. So we have here, I think that the ad for the BMX 3000 sports car is the best because it makes me want to buy one. But on the other hand, some people would say that I don't want a car. They would be more interested in health, for example, so they want the water part. Or if she is in household working, she's always interested in cleaning, that's make the detergent more interesting. So this is just a point of view that anyone can have. There is no actually right or wrong answer, so it depends on what you think. But mainly we have here our example. So we're going to close up this part and observe these examples. Now we have here our examples. Everywhere I go, everyone looks at my new car. Advertisements use statistics in order to sell products. Since that basketball player wears that brand, everyone went to buy the brand's sneakers. That advertisement says that stains can't be removed unless you use the new detergent. So here, these examples that we have, if you notice, they are long and they have more than one idea. Now, just to look at the first one we have here, everywhere I go. So the first idea is going places. And the second one, that everyone looks at my new car. Two ideas. And we have the second one, advertisements use statistics. This is an idea. And the second one, sell products. After that, we have here, the basketball player wears the brand. The other one, everyone went to buy the same brand. The last example we have here, that advertisement says that stains can't be removed. This is the idea. And the other idea is that unless you use the new detergent. So we have here two ideas, which means that we have here in the sentence actually two clauses. So remember from Unit 4, we talked about the clauses. The clause is an idea that is in the sentence. Now, we have in Unit 5, it is very similar to Unit 4. Why? Because we are going to talk about clauses, and also we are going to talk about everywhere, in order to, since, and unless, which are conjunctions. Do you remember conjunctions? Paired conjunctions. So we have here, these conjunctions are in the sentence to, of course, link and connect like the first in Unit 4. But here it is a little bit different. Why? Because we have here these parts or these conjunctions. The clause that has the conjunction is called an adverb clause. Now let's see. I want to just highlight something. If you can see that there is two small green circles, which means that I'm highlighting the comma, but actually just two commas. And two sentences, they don't have a comma. Why? So you can know why, because just concentrate on the big red circles. Where are they? So if you have the conjunction at the beginning, it means that there is a comma to just divide the sentences or the clauses. If the adverb is in the middle, you don't need a comma. Another thing that is very important, just to make sure that you understand the sentences, let's just highlight something, or let's just delete something. We're going to say here, okay, we have here, everywhere I go. Now just imagine that you are just reading this part, or someone is telling you just this sentence, everywhere I go. Is there a message? Did you get the meaning, the complete meaning? Everywhere I go? No, there's nothing. But if I read for you, or if I say to you, just delete this one, and if I say, everyone looks at my new car, does it give you a complete idea? Yes. Let's try it again. Advertisements use statistics. I'm telling you that advertisements, they use statistics. You got an idea? But if I say to you, just a sentence, in order to sell products, you would think, okay, so after that, what? In order to sell products, there is something missing. The third example, since that basketball player wears that brand. So I'm talking to you, or your friend is talking to you, and she's saying, or he's saying, since that basketball player is wearing that brand, you still wait, there's something missing. But if I am just saying everyone went to buy the brand's sneakers, you would get a complete idea. And the last one, we have here that advertisement says that stains can't be removed. This is a complete idea. But if I delete it and just say, unless you use the new detergent, there is something missing. So this is going to be our lesson. Now you get the point. We have here complete sentences. They have two parts. The two parts are called clauses. One gives a complete idea, one doesn't. And with the one that doesn't, we have here a conjunction. So here, we are going to see our lesson completely. Let's just move on. Yes, now we're going to take the grammar point or the grammar lesson, which is about adverb clauses. Now our objectives are going to be to deduct the grammar rules from sentences, use adverb clauses in sentences to connect two ideas, apply the correct conjunction in sentences depending on meaning, use independent clauses and connect them using conjunctions. So we're going to see here, what are we going to do? We have here the same sentences. Now, the words that we have here, everywhere I go, it gives you an idea. I'm talking about everywhere, a place. In order to, it gives another idea. It's not like everywhere. Since is not close to the to, and unless also has a totally different meaning. So we have here, all of these are conjunctions, but they are different in meaning. They give different information. Basically, in the clauses, I'm going to go back to the idea of a complete meaning or another meaning that is not. So we have here the clauses. We call them dependent and independent. So to remember this part, you can just look at this cute baby. Now, can a baby this age walk, change, eat, do things? Of course not. Why? Because he or she depends on their parents. So the word dependent comes from the word depend. A baby depends on their parents. So which means that this clause, we have here the clause, the dependent clause, it depends on another part here. So that's why we have here, it is not a sentence on its own. It can't be just on its own because it is not a complete thought, or we can say a complete idea. But the independent clause, you can see this young man, independent is a complete idea, sorry, not a sentence, an idea. So it can function as a sentence on its own and gives complete meaning. This is exactly what we explained before, but I gave it to you without names. Now you know that these two clauses are called dependent if it is missing, independent if it's okay, if it gives you a complete meaning. Now, this is the first thing. The second thing, adverb clauses, which are what we are going to discuss and our lesson here, adverb clauses are actually dependent clauses. Okay, so why? Just go back to the examples that we have. Just look at these examples here. Now we can say, or we're going to just pass by them. Remember that the parts that had everywhere, unless, since, they were missing. So they were the adverb clause. Now what is an adverb clause? A group of words that function as the adverb of a sentence. So they are not just one word, because an adverb can be one word. But as a clause, it is a group of words together as a team. They function, they work to give a meaning of an adverb. So it's like that I have this conjunction and the words that have, or the words that follow, and they function as an adverb. Another thing, or three things actually. We have the first one. They can come anywhere in a sentence. They can come in the beginning, in the end. If the sentence is long, they can become in the middle also. And to note that they contain a subject and a verb. I'm talking about the dependent clause, the adverb clause. It has to have a subject and a verb. They begin with a conjunction. So how do you know that this is an adverb clause? Because it begins with a conjunction, which is going to be the second part of our lesson. So now you know that there is something called an adverb clause. You know the difference between a dependent and independent clause. You know that there is the small comma that is put if the adverb clause is at the beginning. Okay, now let's just go back to our sentences here. You can see, just to revise our information, we have here, what did we say? They can come anywhere in the sentence. Yes, this is true, because you can see that this is in the beginning and in the middle. The second one, they contain a subject and a verb. Okay, let's see, we have here, you use. This is the subject and the verb. We have also, since that basketball player, subject, wears, a verb. So this is correct. And the third point, that they begin with a conjunction, true. Because we have here, this is a complete clause, there's a conjunction, and we have here, this is the clause, it has a conjunction. Nothing comes before the conjunction in the clause. Now, just here to note that there's a fun fact that you can switch the position of the clauses in the sentence without changing the meaning. It's the same thing. Doesn't change the meaning, but you can just switch the positions. Okay, now we have here, these are our conjunctions. So we said that conjunctions, they have to start the adverb clause. And you can see that I have here 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. The first one has because of, since, now that. The second one, in order to, or we can just say to. We can say so or so that. If, even if, in case, only if, and unless. These are 5 conjunctions together. And we have here where, wherever, and everywhere. This is the fourth. Okay, so we're going to see what's the point. Why do we have these divisions between the conjunctions? Now, the first thing, we have our graph. It is ready. In the meaning, or in the middle, we have here conjunctions based on meaning, and we're going to divide them. Actually, they are the same, but I'm going to see what is the purpose, what is the aim. So we have, for example, because the shoes were on sale, I bought 2 pairs. So why? Why did you buy 2 pairs? Because there is a sale. Now that it has permission, that supermarket opens 24 hours. So it's unusual that we have a supermarket, a small one, it opens 24 hours. Why? Because it has permission. They closed the store early since there were no customers. So the store was closed. Why? Because there were no customers. And the last one, they went to the mall because of the sale. So they went to the mall. Why? Because there was a sale. And note that I'm saying why? Because these conjunctions, they all give the information of reason. Now, the information of reason here, it's the same thing, the 4 clauses. But note that because of, note here, we have because of the sale. So if there is because of in the sentence, it must be followed by a noun or a noun phrase, which is the sale. The sale is a noun phrase. Okay, so we are going to put our graph, the first one, the first group, which is reason. Then we have the second one. Don't buy that dress unless you really need it. So no, you can't buy the dress unless you need it. The second one. I'll write down my phone number in case you need it. So, okay, you don't need my phone number, but just in case, I'll write it down. If it rains, we won't go to the picnic. So I'm sorry, we're not going to the picnic if it rains. And it can be the opposite. We have here, we're going to the picnic even if it rains. So all of these sentences, they have the meaning of a condition. I'm conditioning. You can't buy unless you need it. We can't go if it rains. So there's a kind of condition part here in the 4 conjunctions, but note that to use if to show that the condition affects the result. So we have here, what is the result? Using if because it is affected. But note here in the 4th example, I'm going even if it rains. So which means that we use even if to show that it does not affect the result. Use the present tense with an if clause even if it refers to the future time, which is something that we used before. You know now that you can use the present tense to refer to the future. So this is going to be the second part, the second graph, which is condition. And then after that we have here advertisements use many techniques in order to convince people to buy products. So why? What is the point? Why using the techniques here? Because they want to convince. And also we have here, I left my wallet at home. There must be a reason. You must have an aim. You have something in your head. Why? Why did you leave your wallet at home? So you would not spend your money. So this is a bit different from the reason. We can say that here we have purpose. There is a purpose. There is something that I want from leaving these things. Purpose means something that has a kind of intention, intended. Note also that we have here in order to must be followed with the base form of the verb. Clauses with so that usually include a modal. Now you can see that so that I wouldn't be tempted. Modal, wouldn't. And we have here, this is our third part in the graph, leading to our fourth and the last part that we have. We have here, he buys something wherever he goes. The advertisements were placed everywhere you could imagine. And this is so clear that I have the information of places where. And of course, in all the four parts, you can see that I placed the dependent and the independent clause, or we can say the adverb clause. Okay, after that, this is our fourth part. So you know that we use the adverb clauses either to give the information of reason, condition, purpose, or place. So here, you can see that the adverbs are a lot. You just have to revise them, but if you think about it, it is very easy because we always use because with reason. We use where, everywhere, if we're talking about a place. We use, for example, unless, if it is a condition. So these are typical for us and we know them. You just have to revise your exercises and revise the rules. But as much as it seems a lot of words here, it is very easy. It just needs your focus. It needs your time. So that's why I'm not doing any of the exercises today. Just focus on the exercises that you have in the book. There is the exercise of the match part that you have in the same page. And the other page, we have another part, which is to complete each sentence with a word or phrase. And also that you have 3 other exercises in your book. So you have much or plenty to do. Just take your time, focus on the parts that we have, and it all goes on the same thing. So you can just write your graphs, just divide between the clauses, and then after that you can just close up and you can understand what you are doing. Speaking of closing up, we have here, this is our close-up. We have here, we talked about conjunctions and we divided them. We talked about the adverb clauses, which are the dependent clauses, and we have the other one, the independent. And we differentiated actually between these sentences. Of course, we have here, we joined the 2 parts, which are the dependent and independent. But also now you can differentiate, you can know the difference between the 2 parts. So you have a lot of homework to do and a lot of assignments. I have my homework with you. I'm doing the same thing. And we will check tomorrow, inshallah.